Hello students. Today the next topic which I will going to discuss from the unit 3, that is from the deadlock, is avoidance. In the previous topic we have learned how to prevent from a deadlock. As to prevent deadlocks by restraining how requests can be made, the restraints ensure that at least one of the necessary conditions, that is for deadlock, cannot occur, and hence that deadlocks cannot hold. An alternative method for avoiding deadlock is to require additional information about how resources are to be requested. The various algorithms that use this approach differ in the amount and type of information required. The simplest and the most useful model requires that each process declares the maximum number of resources of each type that it may need. Deadlock avoidance algorithm dynamically examines the resource allocation state to ensure that a circular weight condition can never exist. The resources allocation state is defined by the number of available and allocated resources and the maximum demands of the process. In this, we will going to be considering two basic terminologies. That is the state of a process. It is in a safe state or an unsafe state. A state is safe if the system can allocate resources to each process up to its maximum in some order and still avoid a deadlock. More formally, a system is in safe state only if there exists a safe sequence. A sequence, a sequence P1, P2, Pn, so on Pn of all the processes is it the of all the process is the system such that for each pi the resources that pi can still request can be satisfied by currently available resources plus resources held by all the process pj, where j should be less than I. A safe state is not a deadlock state, and conversely a deadlock state is an unsafe state, and not all unsafe states are deadlock. If a process Pi needs are not immediately available, then Pi can wait until all the Pj have finished. And when Pj is finished, Pi can obtain needed resources, execute written allocated resources, and terminate. When Pi terminates, the next Pi plus 1 can obtain its needed resources, and so on. If a system is in a safe state, then there is no deadlock. And if system is not in a state, then there may be a possibility of a deadlock. Operating system cannot prevent the processes from requesting resources in a sequence that leads to a deadlock. And in the case of the avoidance, we can ensure that system will never enter an unsafe state. We can prevent getting into a deadlock. A safe state is not a deadlock state, and a deadlock state is an unsafe state, and not all unsafe states are deadlocked. By example, we can see that we have three processes P0, P1 and P2, and the maximum need of each process is 10, 4 and 9. That is, P0 requires 10 instances of a resource for the completion of a work, P1 requires 4 instances of resource, and P2 requires 9 instances of resource. And currently for the processing, P0 requires 5 instances, P1 requires 2 and P2 requires 2. Suppose the processes P0, P1 and P2 share 12 magnetic tape drives. Currently, 9 drives are held among the processes and 3 are available. How it is 9? It's 5 plus 2 plus 2. That is 9. So 12 minus 9 is 3. Now the available resources are 3 only. Question is the system is currently in a safe state? We say yes. But how? What is the safe sequence? At present, we have 3 magnetic tape drives are left, and in the 3 we have to distribute them. Currently, the need is 5, 2 and 2. Now only 3 magnetic tape drives are left. So we have to check how to distribute these magnetic tape drives so that we can get a safe sequence. Currently, process P1 requires 2 and process P2 requires 2, and we have 3. We can't give 3 to P0. If we're going to give 3 magnetic tape drives to P0, then again the 2 will be on the current name. So we can give this particular 3 among from 3, we can give this tape drives to process P1. At the completion of the process P1, here we can see we have left with, after distributing, 1 tape drive, and it is being given to 2. See, after completion of this, these 4 tape drives have been released and it is being gone back to process P1. Then now it's being 4 plus 1 5. We can give to process P0 as well as process P2. In the 5, firstly we give it to process P0. The process completes its work. It releases 10 instances of tape drives. It is being now available for the other processes, and among 10 it is being given to process P2, so that we get the safe sequence. The safe sequence is, firstly we have given the tape drives to process P1, then process P0, and then process P2. So in this particular example, we can see the system is in a safe state. In the same example, now again we change a particular situation. Suppose process P2 requires a request is allocated one more tape drive. Now the process P2 has a 3 tape drives, and now we have to check the system is in a safe state or no. But now the system is not in a safe state. Does not exist a safe sequence anymore. Only process P1 can be allocated its maximum need. If process P0 and P2 request 5 more drives and 6 more drives respectively, then the resulting state will be the deadlock. The same example is this. We have a 12 magnetic tape drive. 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 3, 10. And among the 12, we have 10, we have been distributed in all the processes. Only 2 tape drives have been left. First, it is being given to the process P1. Process P1 complete its work, and then it's being process P1 releases its instances, then it given to process P0, and after P0 we can't give to the process P2. So if the number of requests is being increases or the current allocation is being increases, then it's not necessary the process will be in the safe state. So the key idea, that is what the deadlock avoidance is. Initially the system is in a safe state, and whenever a process requests an available resource, system will allocate the resource immediately only if the resulting state is safe. Otherwise the requesting process must wait. Thank you.